It was a great time to be a photographer. You know, if I decided I wanted to go to Africa or go to Russia, the office would just call Paris Match and they would say, yeah, we'll give him a few $1,000s to have a look at his pictures when he comes back. When I left school, I wanted to travel. The possibilities in those days were more or less the old British Commonwealth, and South Africa sounded more exciting. It was already a time of political unrest in South Africa. I'd never been to Sharpeville before. I just went back to the car when they opened fire on the crowd. It was just people running towards me and then bodies on the ground afterwards. At the court case afterwards, I was the only white person to give evidence. I took a photograph in the north of South Africa of an unlocked car with a baby sleeping on the back seat, a white child, and the nanny looking after the child was only about 12 or 13 herself. I kind of felt there was something to be done on the racial relationships. So I kept going back every couple of years until at one point I was banned. The situation was crazy. For instance, in Cape Town, there were beaches for white people and beaches for colored people. It was quite funny. The photographers of Magnum invited me to join, but the doyen of photography then was a guy called Henri Cartier-Bresson. Before I could finally become a member, he had to give me the okay. So they arranged for me to meet him in a bistro underneath the office. And being a Brit, and I always drink tea actually, but the French at that time never drank tea, they drank coffee. I met this Frenchman and I ordered coffee. He ordered tea. He looked my prince like that very quickly, and he left. So the bureau chief said, you know, what have you done? He hates you, you know. Anyway, I was in Magnum. In those days, if you took a picture in Germany, the guy would look over their shoulder to see there were no Stasi watching them. If you took a picture in Italy, the Italians would do this, you know. But if you took a picture in England, they would pretend they hadn't seen you. They would ignore you. I moved back to England. I was shooting this book on the English whilst my eye was still fresh. You know, if you live in a city or you live in a country, you see it every day. You see it, but you don't see it. People were far more relaxed then. I wanted to shoot in a hospital in London. I went to the guy running the hospital. He said, well, you know, I can't give you permission, but there's a white coat hanging behind the door, and if you want to borrow that, you can do it. It's a port town. I took this picture overlooking the port on a Sunday morning when people would go up on the hill on a sunny Sunday day just to doze and see what was going on in the port. It was a nice moment. The magazine market in America and Europe has almost disappeared. Magnum has changed enormously. Sometimes good, sometimes bloody awful, actually. You know, we have a meeting at the end of June every year to try and figure out why we've lost so much money in the year. And I don't know half the photographers, but I still enjoy working, and I still enjoy traveling and looking at other countries and seeing how the people are. Why would I stop? God, that would be so boring.